You've got to do better, Senator. You've got to step up.
There's nothing brave or new about Captain America Brave New World. It's not a bad movie, but there's nothing that makes it stand out either. It's just okay. It's not a disaster of Love and Thunder proportions, but it's not a post-Endgame gem on par with Guardians 3 either. It's not as depressingly dour as Quantumania, but it's not as much fun as the Marvels either. Captain America Brave New World is the very definition of middle of the road. It's just another cookie-cutter comic book film churned out of the Marvel factory line. You get just enough bang for your buck and not a microbe more. The fact of the matter is that Sam Wilson isn't an interesting enough character to sustain a whole movie, and Anthony Mackie doesn't quite have what it takes to play a leading role in a big blockbuster. Some cool action sequences and great supporting actors aside, Captain America Brave New World doesn't come close to living up to its potential. This video will contain spoilers for Captain America Brave New World. I'll start by listing what I liked, because it's not a very long list. I liked some of the action scenes, especially the Top Gun sequence whizzing around the giant celestial hand. That looked great on a big screen and really captured the massive scale of Celestial Island. This movie has a great soundtrack with an eclectic mix of artists ranging from Kendrick Lamar to Tame Impala, and it's got a good score too, courtesy of Laura Cartman. Cartman gives the movie an old school thriller score with eerie, foreboding tones creating a sense of dread.
So the longer the note, the more dread.
I liked Bucky's cameo, and I liked the concept of a superhero movie / political thriller about a mind-controlled presidential assassin, but the execution didn't live up to that premise at all. I think Anthony Mackie is great as a supporting actor. I've loved him in The Hurt Locker, 8 Mile, $1 Million Baby, All the Way, Pain and Gain, and The Hate U Give, but I don't think he's cut out to be a leading man. It doesn't help that Sam Wilson as a character doesn't have much of a distinctive personality. He's nice to everyone, he always maintains grace under fire, he has no flaws. He has a bit of imposter syndrome about taking Steve's title, but even that barely gets any lip service. When the question of why Sam is the new Cap comes up, the only explanation that's given is because you're you. Talk about a non-answer.
It's the greatest non-answer I've ever heard.
It would have been a better arc to give the shield to Bucky. Going from presumed dead to brainwashed terrorist traitor to symbol of American heroism would have been the ultimate redemption arc. Sam has Steve's squeaky clean, goody two-shoes ethics without the conflict of being misplaced in history that made Steve so interesting. While Mackie falls short of the MCU's other lead actors, Brave New World does have a fantastic supporting cast. Harrison Ford brings his usual gruff charms to a hot-headed US president slowly succumbing to gamma radiation. Carl Lumley gives another brilliantly grizzled performance as persecuted super soldier Isaiah Bradley. Shira Haas was great as a badass ex-Black Widow. I'd love to see her again in something else. Giancarlo Esposito and Tim Blake Nelson both make for incredible villains, but they're completely squandered. It's Christopher Eccleston in Thor: The Dark World all over again. They got world-class actors to play one-note baddies that exist purely to spout trailer-friendly sound bites.
Captain America. You ever ask yourself, who's playing who?
Captain America, caught without his wings.
The actors all do their best, but they're burdened with a pretty terrible script that was clearly rewritten into oblivion. None of the dialogue sounds like something someone would actually say. The cast are forced to deliver bad jokes and clunky exposition. They're just there to explain interchangeable plot elements like the buyer and the treaty, and catch people up who don't remember the subplots from The Incredible Hulk. Captain America 4 is so bland and generic and derivative that it could have been written by AI, regurgitating plot points and formulaic dialogue from other Marvel movies. This script should be taught in screenwriting classes as what not to do. There are so many egregious cases of telling instead of showing. Every other scene, the film cuts to a news report to spell out the plot for you. Isaiah Bradley says his tragic backstory out loud so many times that it loses all its impact. No matter how many times it's discussed through dialogue, it'll never have the impact of witnessing the horrors he endured on the pages of Truth, Red, White, and Black. For every obstacle that gets thrown at the characters, they have a convenient gadget that solves the problem in seconds. And it's not like the Bond films where the gadgets are set up in the first act, it's just random pocket-sized deus ex machinas that come out of nowhere. When a fighter jet is in a tailspin, they just chuck a magnet onto the cockpit that auto-ejects the pilot to safety. There's no real conflict or tension. When Cap needs to infiltrate a military facility, he sends his little drone to cut a hole in the fence and loop the CCTV feed so he can just waltz right through the front door. The new Falcon gets blown up by a missile and does a nosedive into the ocean and gets rushed to the hospital in critical condition to have emergency surgery, but you know he's gonna be fine, so it has no dramatic weight.
'Tis but a scratch.
It's a shame Brave New World plays it so safe, because it had the potential to do something really interesting. It has all the pieces to be a big blockbuster spectacle commentary on the current political climate. It's about a black war veteran trying to talk some sense into the volatile rage monster in the White House. The only way it could be more on the nose is if Red Hulk was orange. The imagery of President Hulk smacking Captain America with an American flag and ripping chunks out of the Washington Monument is practically a political cartoon, but it doesn't lean into it. It barely touches on those elements before devolving into a standard superhero melee indistinguishable from any other Marvel movie. The president becomes a villain for 10 minutes and then immediately accepts accountability for his actions and goes to prison for his crimes. That's the most unrealistic thing in the film. I really want the MCU to get back on track, but they don't seem to be getting the message that the audience won't settle for mediocrity anymore, because Captain America Brave New World is mediocrity incarnate.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. Remember to like and subscribe and click on the little bell. And also seize the day and call your mom and be kind to yourself.